What is up, soul warriors and game changers? Hopefully, that's you, right? Welcome. I am grateful for you being here. I am grateful for breath, for life, for this amazing journey we are on because, my friends, there is no coincidences happening at this time. There is no coincidences, and things are majorly occurring right now. Majorly. But not everybody's going to see it. And that's okay. Actually, more people might be falling away. And that's also okay. Because we are in the midst of the biggest shifts, okay? This is so amazing what I'm about to show you, and there are no coincidences. So what's up? Welcome. My name is Master Juniper Blue Mystique. I am an Ascension Master, a Master Healer, and a Divine Guide. Since 2019, I had a Kundalini Awakening, and then I started doing things like activating pyramids, freeing Jesus' soul. Yeah. Undoing the Holy Grail. Yeah, that happened on Christmas Day of 22 on this channel. Very real. It happened live, okay? And I didn't know it was coming. I never know they're coming. The pyramids, though, are so important today, okay? And yesterday, the other day, 2 days ago, because the other channel, okay. So anyways, 2 days ago, I did a video on those swirly things that have been in the sky in the UK. The Schumann resonance has been off the charts for things as well. So I want you guys to watch these things, okay? We're going to watch some things together because it is absolutely right in front of our face. And if you choose not to see these things, I mean, like, you know, are you rising or not, right? Like, these are so cool because what I did over the last few years is happening right now. I do have a message from Commander Ashtar really quickly, though. He says, Commander Ashtar says, allowing the shadow to blind you will now leave you fully behind. Duality can no longer exist. You must now rise to the light. The truths have been in front of you the entire time. Okay, so there's something really cool going on, and there are no coincidences here. None, okay? It's massively badassery. It really truly is. So I'm going to show you some things. So very important video to keep your eye on is the one I did the other day. It is the one right here. What God says the strange swirly lights are. Some people think they're aliens. Some people think it was a portal. What God said is in that video. So I truly encourage you to watch that video because it's very important to what then played out afterwards as well. They're not what the government thinks they were, but you guys, the government wasn't lying. They don't know. Okay, so they were making an assumption that it was a Falcon 9 launch, but it was not. Okay, was not. Now there's another important video we're going to watch here in a moment that I have not watched any of these. This is not a coincidence. Okay, so number one, you're going to want to watch this video right here. All right. By the way, we just had a massive earthquake, and it's left a lot of people gone. It was a 7.7 in Myanmar and Thailand. Why is that significant? Myanmar and Thailand, 7.7 earthquake. Why is that significant? Do you know? It's significant because those are the pyramids I activated. Those are two of the female pyramids I activated. And you can actually watch those right in these, okay? So Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Thailand, and more. This is not a coincidence, okay? These videos are the actual pyramid activations I did a few years back, okay? 2020, right around December of 2020 is when I started those ones, okay? And they continued into 2021. And Fiji was also a feminine pyramid. That was the very first one I activated. And I had no idea what I was doing. They're not what you think they are. They're not like anybody else could do, because not just anybody can do that, okay? I used my Kundalini light to do it. So then later on in the journey, we activated the masculine pyramids. And when those finally circle back around, it's done, okay? Like I'm telling you guys, I told you recently that I implemented the pyramids. I told you this in my courses, right? Let me show you that really quick, because that's not necessarily on my channel. It's in the Path to Righteousness, and it's not going to let me. Oh, chicka chicka. Okay, so I actually do have the entire Path to Righteousness because God told me to do all the work that I did and put it in there for the return of Christ. So anybody that actually chose that path, it was an honor. And it was like telling God, thank you for giving me everything I needed. I choose to rise now. But I couldn't just put everything freely on my channel because you can't just mock it. And a lot of people, unfortunately, did that to the work already. So we don't want to do that, okay? This is the actual work. So we have to be totally respectful of it, really, truly. But on my channel recently, I told you God bypassed some time. I took us into the portal of the Nile, and then I implemented the pyramids into the earth. Okay, this is very real. So Myanmar, Thailand, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Indonesia, Nigeria, Botswana, Zimbabwe were some of those other ones. Okay, so here they were. It was God called them the stairway to heaven. And so I don't remember which one was Myanmar, Machu Picchu, and Thailand and all that. I don't remember which one those implemented into, which step, which rising one that was. I would have to watch it again. I don't remember. So Thailand and Myanmar are one of the portals. Okay, that's one of the pyramid portals. All right, so the fact that we have literally just had a massive earthquake there after I told you about the swirly little thingies in the sky and what those truly were, you might want to watch that because it's not what people thought it was. It goes along with the work that I did. God explains it pretty well in there what that is. I was like, oh, it makes sense. and then a day later, we go into, this is not a coincidence, okay? But there's something else. So something's wrong with the Earth's heart. We're going to watch this really quick because right after I talked about the anomaly in the sky and how it pertained to the work that I did, and how it was a huge vibrational shift, how does it pertain to the eclipses that we're in right now, which is actually new Earth birthing, day 1, 2, and 3, okay? Continually processing through. So this is very important to understand, okay? It truly, truly, truly is, because these are not normal times. This is not something you've seen before. And so,
check this out.
Choosing not to see may leave you blinded. Like, how can we deny these? How can we deny what is truly happening right in front of our face? It's quite actually amazing. It is quite amazing. So, let's just listen.
More residences across the globe at this moment in time. Specifically, we're seeing a huge power increase out of the United Kingdom, and we're seeing a very unusual...
Okay, so let's go back here. So remember, I implemented the pyramids not too long ago, a few months back. Yeah, okay, it's very real. God said enough. And there's 13 gates, 13 pyramids, masculine to feminine, and 2 of those pyramids was Myanmar and Thailand. So Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Thailand. I know that Machu Picchu was the 4th one. That was Atlantis portal. Okay, and that actually played out on my channel as well. That's where I died in Atlantis. And the white flame went out, where the flood came in. Okay. And it was undone and refixed. But let me slow it down. So this video right here that I did day before yesterday, when you find this video, I'm doing this now on March 28th of 25. So on the 26th, I uploaded about the swirly little thingies that were found over the UK. And I said what they were. It was not alien activity, y'all. It's not necessarily a portal, but it kind of is. But it's like when Christ light comes in, what doesn't align will fall kind of a thing. It is absolutely goes along with the work that I did. And I showed you specifically in there what work it pertained to. But then the next day, my dude right here, right? He did it yesterday. Because I was looking at the Schumann resonance too, but this guy, he's got like a degree. So we're going to listen to him explain it.
Usual frequency pattern and some anomalous pre-earthquake signals out of Cumiana, Italy. And this has just occurred in the past 48 hours.
Listen to what he says.
Keep in mind, we are still in a geomagnetic storm right now. I've been covering this on the channel. It was a G2 at its strongest. Now we are still having enhanced geomagnetic volatility across the planet. And we have a partial solar eclipse coming up on the 29th.
Tomorrow.
So there's already been a lot of energy perturbations occurring across the globe, and we have more to come. And now we're seeing some very dramatic shifts in these Schumann resonances. Some of you may be asking, what are the Schumann resonances? Well, they are this global field of energy that connects everything together simultaneously.
I'm going to tell you too, unless they upgrade them, it's really hard for them to Spirit wants me to tell you that the Schumann resonance can't even accurately give you the measurements. They're larger than what they're able to show because they were done in like the 80s or 90s or something is when they were done. So they do need to be upgraded. Our science will also have to rise into a quantum physics field. Everything I did is quantum physics related. Activating the pyramids is quantum physics related. I go into where time doesn't exist. Everything stops. I've stopped the earth rotating several times doing this work. It's very real. It sounds cuckoo. Like, how is that possible? Watch the videos. And you can actually watch my body become affected by it too the entire time. It's quite amazing to see. But he literally said, over UK, let's listen to that part again.
The United Kingdom, and we're seeing a
What?
shifts in these Schumann resonances across the globe at this moment in time. Specifically, we're seeing a huge power increase out of the United Kingdom, and we're seeing a very unusual frequency pattern and some anomalous pre-earthquake signals out of Cumiana, Italy. And this has just occurred in the past 48 hours.
Pre-earthquake signals. And then what just happened? Wait, what? Can I get a what? So I told you guys on the 26th that those little swirly things were not what people thought they were. Spirit told you exactly what it was. And it was only over the Northern Hemisphere, over UK, that it was being seen. Kind of like a nebula. You should really check out that video. Very, very, very important. And then this guy the next day said something's wrong with the Earth's heartbeat. The resonance, the Schumann resonance, which I get notifications of. However, some of those measurements have been having a hard time reading it. But out of the ones, he even specifically said, in the UK, it's reading very strange, and pre-earthquake anomaly. And then today, bam, shika, bam, bam. Guess where the earthquake was, though? Thailand and Myanmar. Two of the earthquakes areas where I activated feminine pyramids. I don't know how much more God can get right in your face, right? I mean, this is so cool. I'm like, look, it's what I did. It's what I did. And when I would activate the pyramids, if you guys actually watch my work, I've specifically said earthquakes, the earth shaking and water and like all this stuff happens. And here we are, my friends. Here we are. Okay, can I get a okay? So now we have something even more happening. So let's check out his thing today. This is no coincidence. 7.7 earthquake strikes Myanmar, Thailand, thousands dead. Okay, huge 1.1 X flare explodes. So just like I said, in my video the other day, what was the swirly things over UK? It had to do with the energy that I did, the work that I did, the pyramid activations. It had to do with that. It was specifically said in here, okay? Pyramid activations, the bringing in Christ light, all of that, okay? That's what we're seeing, and that's what this was, and it's unknown to the government. That's why they said, oh, it's SpaceX, which didn't make sense. It's not an alien activity. It was literally us going into new galactic energies, like a nebula. Okay, so I encourage you to watch this video. It's very, very, very cool. Then, lo and behold, a day later, he said, "What? Can I get a what? What do you say? Let's listen again."
In these Schumann resonances across the globe at this moment in time. Specifically, we're seeing a huge power increase out of the United Kingdom, and we're seeing a very unusual frequency pattern and some anomalous pre-earthquake signals out of Cumiana, Italy, and this has just occurred in the past 48 hours. Keep in mind, we are still in a geomagnetic storm right now.
So here's the thing: is some things have been detached from the reality. So are you going to have a lot of warnings on these things? No. And where you might think it hit is not going to be where it hit, right? Like everybody's waiting for one like in Italy or something like that. But now it actually hit where I activated pyramids. That's absolutely astronomically real. Okay. Literally, I did them years ago. They were some of the first pyramids I activated. I freed Jesus' soul. I cleared Mount Shasta, which was not of light at all. Then I began activating pyramids in Fiji, which was the very first one I activated, which was truly the God portal. Returned the root chakra back from Mount Shasta to Fiji. Okay, they stole it. Mount Shasta was the biggest freaking lie. It is part of a false veil. It's created the false veil. Okay, there was so much darkness there. And I actually know a lot of people that did spiritual retreats there. But it was a lie. It was a ruse. And they stole the root chakra and put it there. So I returned it back to Fiji. And I didn't know I was doing that stuff. I literally would do the work and then process it going, oh my God, did I just do that? Holy crap. It was like massive. Then I started healing the sun and the moon and undoing the false concept of time and detaching the earth from the matrix and then more pyramids. So in these two is Indonesia, Myanmar, Budapest, Machu Picchu, Thailand. Yeah, there's quite a few. This one was 4 hours long because I combined them. So that was the pyramids done on 1220, 1221, and 1222. Okay, Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Thailand, and more. All right, and then I started activating the Sphinx. And while I was doing all of this, I kept telling you guys what is true will unearth. And now we're seeing that there's different worlds underneath the pyramids. I cleared and activated the crystalline grid, repaired the crystalline grid underneath the pyramids. That's our power center. Okay, we're not meant to have power lines. And when I would activate all of the pyramid activations, starting here, okay, starting in these, when I activated these, I said the power lines will fall and fires will start. And we've been seeing that. We've literally been seeing that. And I even predicted there were fires to come this year in the 2025 predictions. Oh yeah. Then I brought down the blood of Christ. Then I undid the Holy Grail and returned my twin soul and my soul back together on 3 different levels. Took us into 7D. So this is the one that was relevant to what God said those little swirly things over the UK were. Okay? More masculine pyramids here. Ecuador, Congo, British Columbia. These were feminine. Nigeria, Botswana, Zimbabwe. When I did one of these to the masculine, I drew a line and connected the feminine back to the masculine. And that was when I healed the west back to the north and recalibrated the Earth's recalibration, tilted her on her axis. And by the way, the north and the south poles will shift. They will completely flip to the east and the west, I believe it was. You have to watch the work. So I don't know how much more I could be like, oh my God, look what I did. And it's happening right now. Oh yeah, and I got a twin soul walk in. And eventually our souls returned to completeness. Process the Earth's death. She's dying right in front of your eyes. Because she's also being reborn. And some of us will rise. Okay. Horus returned from the Sphinx. That was pretty damn amazing. That soul fragment went back to my DM as well. In the Nile, I replaced the crystal in the core of the earth, also from darkness back to light. Yeah, these are actually pretty in our face. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you. So this one right here, full power of the sun returned, light activations, guided healing, return of Christ work. In this one, I took us to Newgrange, Ireland. Newgrange, Ireland. Where were the anomalies? Wait. Where were the anomalies? Let me hear it again. Where were the anomalies? over UK, my friends. And we are in the midst of the most massive solar influx flares that we've ever had in history, okay, because we're in the solar maximum. Yeah, and we've had this big, huge black hole sun, and in birthing the new Earth, I talked about that, okay? That's I would take chunks of the sun and shove it into the Earth, literally, okay? So, again, those little swirly things the other day were over the UK. This, when I brought down the full power of the sun, was over the UK. I took it into Newgrange, Ireland, because that is where some escaped when Atlantis was stolen. And they built ley lines. And that is where I shoved the full sun back into. It was in the ley lines in Newgrange, Ireland, you guys. And I'm just like, duh, like right in front of my face, I'm processing this right now too. So the swirly things the other day over the UK, when I fully returned the sun, it was over the UK. Into those ley lines, you guys. The work that I did is literally playing out right in front of your eyes. But you see, a lot of people chose to throw a lot of shadow into this work, and that's why God said enough, and he bypassed time. Then the Incas and Mayans were reborn at Lake Titicaca, which is where I re-rose from, which was actually... Yeah, watch those videos. So that's when God shifted plans. Portal the Nile is now. Then I implemented all 13 pyramids into the earth. And then I birthed New Earth, which is where we're at right now. The planetary alignment, the sun and the moon eclipsing, and full mass light of Christ coming down. And look at bam, bam, we have proof over the UK, which is where I returned the sun. Which was right here in Newgrange. You guys, how can you, like, letting your shadow blind you at this point to the work and the truth that is right in front of our eyes will not help, okay? Myanmar, because it requires lots of healing, first of all, to even see beyond that shadow. You have to heal completely out of the matrix, and the time to rise is now. I do mean now. I'm so excited because this is the work that I did that almost killed me, and it did take the life of my DM, and I got to walk in. Myanmar and Thailand, 2 pyramids I activated. 7.7 earthquake. Right at the same time, the little whoop whoop from the sun came in over the UK, which God called like a nebula, which was also kind of like a little bit of a northern light anomaly from the Christ light coming in from the sun. There are no coincidences. This is not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. This is so cool. I love this guy. I love when people are just so connected to the work and they don't even watch my work, you know what I'm saying? But they see it. It's so amazing. Okay, let's hear what he has to say in this one. This was live. Let's see if I can go back to the beginning. It is live right now. Can it let me?
I don't want to curse on channel, but this is insane. This just happened. You're watching this right as it happened. 1.1 X-class flare, but you'll notice it's coming from basically the other side of the sun, just off of the eastern limb. So we didn't get all the light from that. We measure these solar flares in terms of their X-ray flux. They emit a certain amount of extremely high vibrational light, high frequency light, X-rays, right? Just like you get an X-ray and you...
Wait, what? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, that goes into what God said that was. And it was only seen over the UK. Only over the UK. Then we had the, over UK, earthquake, pre-earthquake activity, Schumann resonance is going wonky around the UK. Oh, wait, and then holy shiitakes, Batman.
They tell you if your bone is good or not, whatever, right? Solar flares release X-rays across different wavelengths. And the fact that we had a 1.1 X-class flare, and actually we didn't receive all the light from it, as you can see, right, it's blocked. We actually, look at how little glow we get. Normally we get a big flash. We get very little from this. Look at the coronal mass ejection, though. Oh my God. Holy, this is a Carrington-class solar flare. That is 100% a Carrington-class solar flare. If that had hit us, Or if that had launched from right here.
That's solar flare. Okay, so when we go into the event, it will be something like that hitting us. It'll be such a massive amount of light that we are just, the shift is done. That's the final portal, you guys. So this is a preparation. The earth has to take on so much of this energy, because if we did that all at once, we would fry. Just like he's trying to tell you, if we got all that all at once, we wouldn't be okay. So the earth is taking on what she can. As I activated the pyramids, I would do this. I would take the sun, literally watch those pyramid activations. If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to rise either. I'm here for those that want to rise to new earth, that want to see the work of God, that have a heart and honor the work, right? And so that's what we're here for. It's so amazing. It is so amazing and such a blessing. But as I was doing the pyramid activations, as I was returning the sun, I would reach up and take chunks of the sun and shove it into the earth. And when I did the final portals of the solar flash prep, I just literally took so much sun, and it was like bam, and the whole earth was just like a white flash, boom. And then all of a sudden we were like completely, the matrix was just a empty mass floating away, and the new earth was done. And so you go through that portal of life and death. That is the final portal of life and death. Like rebirth cycle is what they call it, and your heart reviews are applied. So by the time the big event comes, it will be like that hitting the earth. And it will be such a huge flash that if you're not able to rise through these as we're going, you won't be able to handle that. Okay? This is so awesome. And it is everything that I have done since 2019, literally. And God had me record my work because I was doing it in workshops. People were supposed to rise with me and help others rise. I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing it. I just knew I needed to do it. And I followed the nudges, and God guided me through. So a lot of people that was with me chose to throw shadow at it, which got a lot of other people to throw shadow at it. And it was very sad. And that's why God said enough. And they tried to kill me. Literally, they did kill my DM. Like, he chose, in the end, he wasn't strong enough, and he didn't make it. And I got to walk in DM through all of this. I had to battle for my life way back in the beginning of the journey. But God said I left no stone unturned. And we also went into 7D, not 5D. So it's very important to understand. Also, my book, God talked about where Garden of Eden was and how that's coming through. These are very important things. It's so important to understand what we're going through. So in birthing the new earth, I united with my twin flame on the final third round. Our souls went ploop, completely back together. God put our feet in the core, and then we birthed new earth, completely separating the matrix. You guys, this is where we're at. Literally, this is where we're at in the earth. We are in the end. This is the final phases. And it's so cool to see it. Okay? The new earth just starts birthing. And each one of these, the matrix dies more and more. And then there's 3 major events to occur. Now, why is that significant? Well, because in this one, God said this was one of the events that caused everybody to look up and go, that's not normal. And then bam, chicka bam bam, right where I activated 2 female pyramids. Let's listen.
That would be bad news. Bad news bears. That would not be good. That would not be good.
That'll be our, by the way, that is the final flash. Will be something that big. This is why we have to take these in increments and prep for that. But people should be rising through the portals, and some, when they don't make it, they separate. And then I don't see them anymore, like literally. They may still be around because the final solar flash hasn't occurred, but they don't hear you anymore. It's like you literally separate in ability to see and hear. And I also watched people rise with me to get more blind and more blind and more blind because they're not healing out of the shadow. You have to heal out of your shadow, and you have to heal all karma. This is so amazing because that's the only way you're going to be reborn into new earth. We're not here to play karmically anymore. It's done. We need to call back all those soul fragments and rise through every portal to the final flash, the 13th one, and then the final solar flash. That's the biggest event. And that is the final portal of life and rebirth cycle where your heart reviews will be applied. Some will go. They don't make it to New Earth. They still have karma to clear. Some will stay. Those are the ones that clear all their karma, pure heart, guided by the light, in their pure sovereignty and detached from the matrix all the way, trusting God over the shadow and so forth. And then some will never know life this way, are those that choose completely out of God and to remain in the shadow all the way. And they become fallen. And my original DM became a fallen. It was a pretty ugly battle. So let's listen again.
That's the biggest coronal mass ejection that we've seen launched from the sun in this solar cycle, and perhaps in a decade, 2 decades since the 20th century. I mean, I don't have the entire repository of solar flares in my mind and how they looked.
Oh my God, he's brushing his hair on TV.
I basically woke up and immediately saw that we had a 7.7 earthquake in Myanmar and Thailand. We're going to go into that. This just happened though, so we're going to get back to this. This is going to be a long live stream. There's so much to cover. There is so much to cover. We have the partial solar eclipse coming up in about 24 hours. So not only did we have this giant coronal hole, which is connected to giant earthquakes, just like a magnitude 7.7, but we also have the tidal forces, which are strongest around new moons and full moons. We're only 1 day off from the new moon, and not only is it a new moon, it's a partial solar eclipse, so it's exactly along the ecliptic plane, meaning the gravitational vectors are more aligned. And yesterday we saw some crazy anomalies in the Schumann resonances. So there's a whole bunch of weird stuff. Thank you for that.
And he said, UK, whole bunch of weird stuff. This is not normal. UK, wait. Earthquake anomalies, wait. And then boom, boom, boom. I told you. The little weird wiggly thingies was because of the work that I've done, taking us into 7D. These are frequency shifts we're not used to. That's the government didn't lie to you. They don't know, so they were trying to maybe take a good guess. But it wasn't alien activity, okay? We will see those in due time, they're saying. They're actually battling that exposure. And so this does go with this work, you guys. Hello, planetary alignment, which we've had. Sun and the moon coming together and full Christ light coming through. Then bam, 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 the rest of the new earth bursts and the matrix dies. And then the final portal, okay? Final portal for new earth birthing. I literally did work of birthing new earth until the 7th day. I didn't do anything. The angels blew their trumpets. 3 major events will occur to cause everybody to look up, which this God said was one of them. Okay? Then, which you don't want to throw muck at God's work. I'm telling you right now. Okay? Then the final portal is where life reviews are applied, and that is the solar flash. That is the big event. That is the event where that big, huge mass coronal thingy hits the earth completely. And it's like a big flash of white light, like when you pass over and they talk about seeing that white light. Yeah, it's kind of like that. And some won't be able to rise into that energy because, number one, they chose to give their power to the shadow. They chose through free will not to see what God was showing us the entire time. And just like Ashtar said, it's been right in front of you the entire time. I'm not normal. I watch people come here, never watch all of the videos. They throw judgments and leave. And do you know really truly what that does? But because of those that actually rose with me choosing to do what they did, it really threw a negative wrench into all of the work of God. And that's not good for us. I'm trying really hard to correct that and build a community of people who want to care, who want to see and who are ready to rise. So I'm going to keep doing me. I'll keep showing up. I'll keep showing the work. And for those that judge it, that's their choice. But I will not let that stop me. Because I'm not crazy. I had a psychology degree. That's where I came from. I'm a mommy. You know what I mean? And then all this stuff just happened through me. And doing the money matrix. By the way, tarot cards are null and void. You cannot use them anymore. They are all completely anchored into the matrix because I undid the pentagram power, the money matrix. Okay, and so if you're getting tarot readings, it's not from New Earth. They're from a shadow. Okay, I don't care who's reading them. Some people, if they're able to see that, then you're probably good. If not, do not. I wouldn't receive tarot. It's up to you, though. You can do whatever you want to do. Tarot cards are obsolete. And I know that. Okay? There's more coming with that, and I'll let you know. Let's listen to a little bit more. And I don't know how much I could tell you guys this, is that it's not a coincidence. Okay? When I activated the pyramids, I literally told you there will be massive earthquakes, earth shifting, earth dividing, water coming in and cleansing and purifying. The God portal has opened up. All gods have returned. God does not call this the apocalypse. He calls it the return of the gods. That is what I've done. And it's all right here for you guys to see. I literally activated pyramids in Myanmar and Thailand, Indonesia, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Thailand, Myanmar, Nigeria, Botswana, Zimbabwe. The masculine ones are Kilimanjaro, Congo, British Columbia, Ecuador. Yeah, these are very real.
The super thanks for everyone that's already done that. Hello and welcome to the live stream, everyone. I'm your host, Stefan Burns, geophysicist, geologist, space weatherman, just in 4 hours. And then we get this Carrington class solar flare, thankfully from the limb. Thankfully from the limb. And actually even beyond the limb.
But God says that's preparation. We will get the full one, and that will be the final event.
But we have to keep in mind this sunspot, whatever that sunspot is, right? Hopefully that is like the last of the energy. It's blasted off. But we now see with the sunspot the potential is there. It's not even rotating into view. And so in about 8 days or so, it is going to be right here. Hopefully it doesn't do this again. We see the planetary geometry right now is really wild. We'll look at that. I've been talking about that. If you've been subscribed to the channel, watching my...
I'm so proud because this is everything that I've done. What do you say? The planetary alignment is really wild, my dudes. I took us into 7D. If you watch those videos and don't judge them, you have to watch them and absorb them, observe them, because it's real and it's vast and it's the work of God, okay? Literally, I wouldn't want to make that up. That's ridiculous. And how could I? These were all done over the last few years and all recorded, and I didn't even know they were happening. Took us into 7D. I think I used the Sphinx for this one as well. It was actually the Portal of Time. This was done on January 15th of 23, actually healing for the Ascension. And this is new planetary alignments, okay? I move the solar eclipses. They're different. They're aligned differently. These are not normal. And then in birthing new Earth, I love this because it's everything I did happening right now. And you can't make this up if you tried. If you want to be blind and then throw shade at it either way, it's just blind shade. It doesn't actually compute because if you watch the work, it's literally right here in front of you. You can't deny it if your heart's open. But that's okay. Some of us are rising and some aren't. But these planets are aligned in a specific way. And then the eclipses occur. And I told you when that happened in one of my other videos that we were going to atomize. This is the activation and the awakening of Christ right here. The Great Solar Flash 1212 portal. This one happened recently and that came up again in this one as well. Okay, this is very important to understand. Very important to understand. They called me the crest of God. So I came out like the light and the lotus and the huge solar flash came through. Now also, what did I say? I brought it into where? Where did I bring in the sun? Newgrange, Ireland. Oh yeah. And then all those anomalies over UK. Like I can't get any more, like, I don't know how much more God can show us. And what did Ashtar say? Allowing the shadow to blind you will now leave you fully behind. Duality can no longer exist. You must now rise to the light. The truths have been in front of you the entire time. So much love, my friends. I'm so excited. All the work that I did, God literally told me on my awakening is that I wasn't normal, and I didn't want to hear that. I got upset and I fought with God for like a week. Like, I'm already not normal. Why do I have to be not normal? Because people aren't nice. But he's like, you're not normal. You're here to change the world. This is what he literally said when I first woke up. I heard this, and he's like, you're gonna, what did he say? Change the world. Watch the world change. Wait. Show all truths of who you are. Change the world, watch the world change. It was something like that. I say it in many of my videos, and all of a sudden I'm like, that's a while ago. It was like back in 2019 when I first had my Kundalini awakening. And I literally heard, you're not normal. You're here to change the world. You're going to allow yourself to be your truth. So allow yourself to be your truth. Like shine through your truth. It was something like that. And then he said, change the world, watch the world change. And literally that's what's happened. I allowed all the truths to come through. Activating pyramids, totally crazy. Aligning with my DM at the Jesus and Mary Magdalene level, Sekhmet and Horus level, and then the Adam and Eve level. That was very real. It was my life. That was happening through me at the time, in real time that I did that work. My physical vessel changed through it all. It was crazy. Like I was physically, spiritually, emotionally attacked by all these fallen energies. It was massive. God even called me mahogany because I wasn't supposed to survive. But I did. I kept going. I kept choosing love. And then I even got a new walk in DM. Like, how amazing is that? God is so good. And then we were able to complete it. Undoing the Holy Grail, undoing the Emancipation Proclamation. All this shit kept coming through me. I was blown away. So he was like, allow yourself to be yourself. That's what it was. He said, allow yourself to be yourself, change the world, and watch the world change. That's what I heard in 2019. And to reflect on that today, I'm like, that's what that meant. So to assume you think you understand, that's ego. It's very vast and very, very real. And I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. And we truly did win. It truly did succeed. But if you give any power away to that shadow, you cannot rise anymore. I will see some of you on the other side. Ah! So excited. See you next time. Bye. I hope.